to the holy name which are to be avoided, written by Srila Vyasadeva in Padma Purana. 1. To blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their life for propagating the holy name of the Lord. 2. To consider the name of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal or to be independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. 3. To disobey the order of the spiritual master. 4. To blaspheme the Vedic scriptures or scriptures in pursuance to the Vedic version. 5. To consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be an imagination. 6. To give some interpretation to the holy name of the Lord. 7. To commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in Vedas as fruitive activity Karma Kanda. 9. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. 10. To not have a complete faith in chanting of the holy name and to maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the desired success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining today's Bhakti Sangha conference call. Let us move on to our next part of the session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. May I know who all joined this morning?
हरे कृष्ण विनीता गंधर्विका माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम श्री प्रभुपाद की जय गुरु महाराज की जय प्रीतिदासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Preeti Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call.
हरे कृष्ण
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devidasi from Chicago, Illinois.
Hare Krishna Shrimati Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association in all the calls. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji and all devotees. I'm Sudhakar joining from Saudi Arabia.
Hare Krishna Sudhakar Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Prabhu, for joining and thank you for your service to the group. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call.
कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम राम
Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all the assembled devotees. This is Indulika Karna Devi Dasi from Melbourne.
Hare Krishna Induleka Karuna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining and all glories to your wonderful services to the group. Welcome to the call. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Namaste Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai. This is Valli from Naperville, Chicago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Valli Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Mataji, for joining every day, giving your association. Welcome to the call. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to Bhakti Sangha conference call today. We are very fortunate to have His Grace Sanatana Dharma Prabhu to enlighten us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th canto, 5th chapter. Today we are reading a lot of verses, 37 to 43 words. Before we hand over the call to Prabhuji, I request Sudhakar Prabhuji to take over from here and give a brief introduction of Sanatana Dharma Prabhu.
Hare Krishna devotees. His Grace Sanatana Dharmadas Prabhuji is a brahmachari monk and is a disciple of His Highness Radhana Swami Maharaji, practicing Bhakti for more than 2 decades. Prabhuji holds a BTech degree from NIT University Trichy and also he is graduated from the Trinity School of Music, London, for Western classical music. Prabhuji also worked in the Tata Motors as a manager. Prabhuji has rendered varieties of services in the past, including like a college preaching, youth mentoring, conversion, and congregation preaching, center head. He was also center head, youth preaching secretary and director. Prabhuji has completed various courses like Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta, teachers training course at all levels and now teaches them to all the variety of the audiences. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for that brief introduction. We will be waiting for Prabhuji to join. We have a couple of minutes also for the class to start. We can either introduce, if someone wanted to introduce, they can introduce, or else I can continue my chanting. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to wonderful services, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for joining this morning and enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam. I now hand over the call to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Very, very happy to be with all of you this morning. It's morning for me. It may be evening for some of you. And thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to discuss upon Srimad Bhagavatam for my own purification and Lord's glorification. So requesting all the glorious devotees to please turn on the videos. It's a humble request. I do this every time. Thank you. So we will start with Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapreshthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namne Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Ukam karoti vachalam pangam langaiti girim Yat kripatamaham vande paramananda madhavam Shri Chaitanyam Ishwaram Shri Gurum Deenatarinam. Hare Krishna. Once again, welcome all dear devotees. Thank you so much for coming this morning for the Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. So where are we? We are on Srimad Bhagavatam 8th Canto, chapter number 5. And the title of chapter number 5 is Demigod's Appeal to the Lord. Yes. So this is right the beginning of a very, very amazing pastime that happened in the Chakshush Manvantara, that is the 6th reign of Manu. And that pastime is the churning of the milk ocean. So this is a prologue, a kind of prologue to that, right? So what have we seen so far is there's a problem in the universal administration. And so all the demigods go to Brahmaji. Brahmaji takes them to Shvetadvip. And later on, Brahmaji, headed by Brahmaji, all the demigods, they are offering prayers. But it's mainly Brahmaji, prayers by Brahma, right? He's offering prayers. And this section of prayers, right from shloka number 32 onwards, it starts glorifying the Virat Purusha. Yes, the universal form of Lord.
I think there was an internet glitch. Yeah, Prabhuji is back.
Yes. I don't know, there was a blackout all of a sudden. And I'm glad to be back. Yes, happens. Similarly, sometimes there is blackout that happens in universe also. Yes, and that is when everyone goes there. What is happening? Brahmaji says, 2 demons are about to appear. Yes, and they're going to be really notorious ones. They're going to terrorize the entire universe. So this is their introduction. Just before Bhagavatam class, we give speaker's introduction. There's introduction to those demons, what they're going to do. Yes, happens. All right. So universal form is going to be discussed, and it's being discussed from shloka number 32 to 43. The section that's given to me is from 37 to 43. So let's see this beautiful section of Srimad Bhagavatam. The 43 is the climax. So we have to go through this 37 to 42, and 43 there is something very special. Of course, Srila Prabhupada's purport is there, but along with that there's some very good news. Let's find out. This is 8.5.37. प्राणादवोद्यस्य चराचराणां प्राणस्सहो बलमोजश्च वायुः अन्वास्म सम्राजमिवानुगावयं Prasidatam nasamaha vibhuti. Okay. I'm not going to spend much time because we have purport. All the living entities, moving and non-moving, receive their vital force. That's the whole topic. Their bodily strength and their very lives from the air. All of us follow the air, our vital force, exactly as servants follow an emperor. The vital force of air is generated from the original vital force of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. May that Supreme Lord be pleased with us. Okay. Vital force is what? That vital air. This vital air is something that gives strength, and that's called as prana. And prana is sometimes even translated as life. If you see in the modern context, if somebody leaves the body, devotees, they say he left the body or she left the body. That's how devotees talk. But if you go to some people who are not trained in Krishna conscious philosophy, they will say, they also say he or she passed away, they died. But if you see the Vedic terminology, how do people talk? So they would say that this person's prana is gone. Yes, the prana is left the body. The prana is the vital life air which takes the soul from the body and goes to another body. Yes. So this is the vital air. And there are 10 types of vital airs in our body. Just being informative. And there are totally 49 types of air gods, demigods. They are called as Maruts. We've heard about them, right? There was supposed to be one, but Indra, being very afraid of the future, insecure, he cuts Diti's womb into 7 pieces and again into 7 more pieces till he realizes they're all devotees. They all became devotees, although she had ill intention, but she had a healthy practice of Krishna consciousness. So she had got purified, and so did the womb get purified. And these 49 Maruts, the air gods. So there are 10 vital airs, the pranas. And we get these vital airs from this personality, the Virat Purush. He gives us everything. So the vital force is recognized. Even the demigods depend on vital force. See, everybody, in fact, everyone in this, all living entities, which includes the demigods, including Brahma. So we all get our strength from the vital force. What happens after the day of Ekadashi? Any experience? What happens on Dwadashi? You should see the Dwadashi morning program in the temples. Samsara Dava Nalalidalo. And devotees are raising their hands and dancing. Especially then if you call it Nirjal Ekadashi, my God, all the more. People don't have life. You know why? Because in Kali Yuga, the prana is nourished only by anna, grains. Yes. Nobody does pranayam. So the one of the way to do pranayam is to fast. Pranayam means exercise for the prana. Yes, so you have to sometimes give rest to the prana by not having. And then the pranas become weak. So when you don't take grains, the pranas become weak. We have experience of that. Right? So similarly, it's very important. Nowadays, there's a lot of emphasis given to just, it's all details. You can see our science, how deep it is. That a lot of emphasis given to weightlifting, bodybuilding. But if you look at yoga, yes, we have a yoga teacher here, Stacy Prabhu. She's there. She can tell you more. So she is expert in yoga. So yogas, they are the specific exercises done, which are exercises actually for the prana. Yeah, our prana, our strength is increased. So people have very nice shape, body, muscular shape, biceps, triceps, abs, and everything, legs, but they don't have prana today. On the other hand, the Vedic science is always about strengthening the prana, the life airs. Correct? Okay. So that those pranas we see, without those pranas, we cannot have any kind of movement. We depend a lot on the movement. We breathe in, this air movements, which nourish our body. We are taking food, the food passage, air movements, even while evacuating, clearing our bodies while excreting, urinating. There's a lot of life air that takes digestion. Prana apana samoyukta pachami anna chaturvidam. Whatever we eat, you will not be able to. What is the digestion power gone? No matter how much cardio you do, you will not have digestion power because your pranas are weak. Right? So this Shakti, each time we do these activities, we have to be grateful to Krishna. Right? So before even we take food, we ingest the prasadam, taking the food, we're grateful to Krishna. Maha prasade govinde, nama brahmani vaishnav. We are thinking, we're thanking Krishna. Krishna bado dayamay. Krishna is so merciful. And Krishna is, after you put also, Krishna is very merciful. So here we are able to see the mercy of Krishna, prasadam. But what about after taking? After taking, we forget everything. But every single detail, Krishna is properly arranged our body in such a wonderful way. The scientists, they tried to exactly imitate the human anatomy, an entire system. They tried to do that. And they wanted to create blood. What to speak of creating blood? Scientists could not even create stool and urine, the excretory products. Even they cannot be created. So man can never imitate God. Man can only accept what God is giving and be grateful. Next verse. So this verse was about how we all get the strength from Virat Purusha. Right? Next. श्रोत्रादिशो यस्य हृदश्चखानि प्रजज्ञिरेकं पुरुषस्य नाभ्याः प्राणेन्द्रियात्मासु शरीरखेतः प्रसीदतां नः समः विभूतिः. So what is this sloka about? Yes, the previous one was about life, air. Now you see this. This is about different directions. May the supremely powerful personality of Godhead be pleased with us. This is the underlying prayer, refrain. Every song or every poetry has a refrain, no? For men may come and men may go, but I go on forever. Right, such kind of refrain which is there. So this refrain is something which says, may the supreme personality of Godhead be pleased with us. Govindamati Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. We say that, right? So those of them who know the Brahma Samhita prayers, they are very nicely. Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti. They are all reciting the prayers nicely. Other devotees who don't know, na 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 na. Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. At least last line everyone knows. So similarly, this is a refrain that is there in all most of the prayers, especially when the demigods are praying. That may the Supreme Personality of Godhead be pleased with us. This will always be there. This is a kind of refrain statement. The different directions are generated from his ears. The holes of the body come from his heart. The vital force, the senses, the mind, the air from the within the body, and the ether, which is the shelter of our body, comes from his navel. See, there's all descriptions of the Virat Purusha, which are mentioned. So we are learning from this how what all we have experience. We have experience of directions, right? How many directions are there? Let me see. Who knows? How many directions? A hint. You can show it in your fingers. Total directions. Some they're afraid to show. Infinite. No, you can show it on the fingers. Yeah, I knew there'll be controversy. Two numbers they're confused. Nobody's going to say four. Bro, we are more than that. Even material scientists, yes. So please show, all of you show. How many directions? Please show the fingers to me. Please, once. Okay, thank you for blessing. Yes, blessings. 10 directions are there. North, south, east, west, northeast, northwest, southeast, southwest, and then up and down. Up and down. So 8 plus 2. There are 10 directions. And in charge of the directions are called as Dig Devatas. So they come from the years of Virat Purusha. Dig Devatas. There are 10 Dig Devatas. Dig means direction. Yes, directions. So directions are very important. Correct? We all switch on. Before we leave home, what we do? Even if we don't recite Narsimharthi, first thing we do is we switch on directions. Google Maps. Before reciting Narsimharti, first Google Map Prabhu ki jai. Put the destination there. And then Narsimharti. That's what we do, right? We need directions. Kali Yuga souls are having, that's what we say, na Kali Yuga souls, no direction. They forget direction, so they have to put. Correct? That is Dig Devatas. And also directions. Directions are a very amazing dress. Directions are dress. You know for who? For great personalities. Shukadev Goswami, what dress does he wear? Some may say, Prabhu, doesn't wear any dress. We don't say that. We say they are dressed with directions. So directions are their dress. Four Kumaras. What they when some say, oh, they also don't dress. No, the directions dress them. So directions are the dress of the great personalities who have gone beyond the bodily concept of life. So they are avaduts. Next, holes of the body come from his heart. Yes, from Lord's heart comes the 9 holes. 10 directions, 9 holes. The vital force which we just spoke about, the senses, prana, the senses, the mind, the air within the body. Yes, of course, the vital force will be there. The ether, which is the shelter of the body, comes from his navel. Yes. Actually, pretty much the entire universe came from his navel only. The navel of Garbhodaksha. Correct? So all these things also, these are all essential ingredients. They come from his navel. Balan Mahindra Stridasha Prasadan Manyor Girisho Dishanat Virincha Kebhyastu Chandam Sirishayor Vedhankratakka Prasidatam Nasamaha Vibhutihi. Okay. So we got to know about the vital force, the different directions and the different things generated. Now, what this verse is going to speak is very special. Previously, we have discussed about the directions, ingredients, and the vital force, the strength. Now, specifically, all the demigods, how they also originate from Virat Purusha. Indra is called as Mahendra many times. Maha Indra is Mahendra. So, Mahendra, the king of heaven, was generated from the prowess of the Lord. Yes. If you see the Indra, he's actually the prowess. Now, if you want to show me your power, sometimes the kids play, right? Show me power. So people immediately do like this. Yes. Yeah. This is power. Strength. So Indra comes from the hands of the Virat Purusha. The hands. Then the demigods were generated from the mercy of the Lord. Wow. Lord's mercy. All the demigods they come. Shiva was generated from his anger. Hmm. And Brahma from his intelligence. You see? Properties. That's why Indra is one of very strong. He has this very strong thunderbolt. Thunderbolt can even, make mountains into dust because that is the energy of Lord, power of Lord. Demigods are able to do so many wonderful things for us. That's the way. Through demigods, Krishna shows mercy to the conditioned souls. Shiva is generated from the anger of Lord. Yes, anger. The Lord also becomes angry. When does Lord become angry? Anyone? Lord becomes angry only in one case. Otherwise, he doesn't become angry. Who can tell me the answer? Only one thing will anger the Lord, nothing else. When we offend Vaishnavas. Yes, when we offend devotees. That is the only thing which angers Krishna. Except this, you do whatever you want. Oh, doesn't mean that we perform sinful activities, but point is this. And one more place, Shankarshan becomes very angry. Sankarshan becomes very angry at the end of the creation. Sankarshan is the Lord and Master of Shiva. From there only Shiva also gets anger. And he does Tandav, Rudra Tandav. It's a very angry dance. Usually people dance when they're happy, right? People don't dance when they're sad. In sad songs, if you see, Bollywood movies give all these things. Happy emotions, even the protagonist is dancing. Yes, sad songs, they don't dance, but the sidekicks All the people around, they dance. But when one is angry, there is only fight scene. There is no dancing. Right? There is no dancing with that. But Rudra Tandav, he is dancing with anger. Why is anger? Because my master is angry, Sankarshan. And you give the mic to Sankarshan. Why are you angry? So he emits fire when he's angry. He says that, Arey, these living entities, these jivas, we gave them one full lifetime of Brahma to improve their consciousness. Still, these fellows are not gone back to Godhead. What is the use of this material world? Burn it, burn it. So he burns down the entire universe. And then after that, again, Visarjami Puna Puna. Again, the universe comes. Right? The Vedic mantras were generated from his bodily holes of the Lord. Yes, the Vedic mantras. Bodily holes of Lord. He's from his heart come our bodily holes. From Lord's bodily holes, all the Vedic mantras, the 10 power 10 mantras, shlokas are there. They get generated. The saints and Prajapatis, they were generated from his genitals, correct? So that is where the life comes from, even in this world. So Prajapatis means now they are going to carry forward and do Visarga Srishti. Visarga is increasing the universal population. So may that supreme powerful Lord bless us. Next. Sirvakshah Pitaraschyasan Dharmastanad Itara Prishto Abhut Jayur Yasya Sirshno Sara Viharat Prasidatam Nassa Mahad Vibhuti. May that Lord please with us. Prasidatam Nas Mahavibhuti. May that supremely powerful Lord be pleased with us. I told it, that's the refrain. Next. The goddess of fortune was generated from his chest. Yes, Srivo Nivasa Yasuryo Padapadam Mukhadrisha Bahavo Lokapalanam Saranganam Padapucha. So this is always there. Lakshmi resides in the chest of the Lord. So goddess of fortune was generated from his chest. This goddess of fortune is a demigoddess. Yes, she's playing the role of a demigoddess. She's supposed to bestow fortune on the people. Yes. The inhabitants of Pitraloka from his shadow. The Pitras come from his shadow. Religion comes from the chest. And irreligion from the back. So even adharma originates from the Lord. That's what we understand. There cannot even be adharma. So usually, how can anything inauspicious be there in the Lord? So this was a question that was asked to my spiritual master once. How can Lord have any kind of inauspicious name? Right? It is not that Lord who has the inauspiciousness. It is the jiva who have this inauspicious tendency to turn away from Krishna and show the back to the Lord. That's what is called as Krishna Vimukha. Janasya Krishna Vimukasya Devad Adharma Silasya Sudukkitasya. You turn your faces away from Krishna. What do you point towards Krishna? Your back. So this is the tendency of jiva. So when we turn our back from Lord, I'll just charge my device. Run out of charge. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Yes. So when we turn our back towards the Lord, that is irreligion. So that is originating from his back. So that is our tendency. The heavenly planets from the top of his head. The apsaras from his sense enjoyment. Yes. Krishna doing sense enjoyment is perfect. Jiva doing it independent of Krishna, imperfect. That is the imperfection. So perfection is sense enjoyment. Yes, we can do, provided we align ourselves with Lord. And there is no problem. You can enjoy that is enjoyed by Krishna. That is the real enjoyment. Okay, next. So now so far what the different principles, these are the principles, fortune, religion, irreligion, they are originated from the Virat Purusha. The heavens, the realms, the enjoyment, principle of enjoyment, everything comes from Krishna in the form of Virat Purusha. Now this is the Varnashram. Next is Varnashram system. Vipro mukha brahmachayasya guhyam rajanyasid bhuyayor balam cha urvor vidojo angir aveda sudro prasidatam nasta mahavibhuti. Again, this is a very simple Sanskrit. Oh, let that Mahavibhuti, that great personality of Lord, be pleased with us. From whose mouth comes the Brahmanas is and the confidential Vedic literatures, both. Brahmascha yasya guhyam. The confidential Vedic Shastras come from his mouth, and even the Brahmanas come from his mouth. Why? And if you see what is the most important organ of a Brahmana? The head, especially the mouth. Because Brahmana speaks and takes prasad. Two things. So even we were told, now you brahmacharis, you're supposed to be playing a brahmanical role in our society of Krishna consciousness. Whenever you're invited to Grihastha's home, don't just simply eat prasad. We have been instructed. Just don't go and eat and come back. No. We are supposed to speak also. Speak some Krishna Katha, do some Kirtan. Only you have right to take prasadam only if you're speaking something and doing some Kirtan. Then you take prasad. It's good. Otherwise, what will happen? You really want to know what will happen? Traditionally, I was hearing this wonderful point from His Grace Sarvabhaum Prabhu. He was telling us in our Bhaktivedanta class. He was mentioning that traditionally people, Grihasthas, would love to invite as many saints as possible to their house. The real saints, somebody who's really practicing brahmacharya, somebody who's really taken the vows of sannyas, such kind of saints they would invite to their house. Why? They would invite the sages, for one reason, to feed them nicely and to feed them a lot of juices and milk and juice and um, food. Why? So that they stay longer. Don't it's there in the Shastra. Do not please. So that they stay and they go to pass stool and urine. Because when saints come to somebody's home and pass stool and urine, the wealth in the house of Grasta will increase. The Grastas will become very rich. That's why the Grastas call the saints to come stay with us. But saints will stay only in the ashrams. They say, no, we'll not stay here. We stay only in the ashrams. All right. You come and eat nicely at our place. Okay, eat nicely, eat nicely. You feed them nicely, then they have to go to the washroom. Yes. And that is going to increase the wealth of Grihasthas. Both spiritual wealth and material wealth. Both will grow. Rajanyasit bhujayor balam cha. The strength of the hands of the Virat Purusha. All the kings and the Kshatriyas come from there. Urvor vid ojo angrir aveda shudro. So Urva is actually the chest from where the Vaishyas come. What is Prabhupada translating as? Yes. Vaishyas and their expert knowledge and wealth come from his thighs. Okay, Urva. Hungry. And the Shudras from the chest. Actually, Urva is chest, but then it also means thighs. Yeah, because usually Vaishyas come from thighs. Sometimes they say belly, but it's okay. Almost in the same part. And Angri Rave the Shudra. Yes. So the Shudras, they come from Angrir, the feet. So the entire Varnashram system, this is actually the Varna system, is coming from the Lord. Next. Lobodharat pritiruparya bhutyutir nastapashavyapsparashena kama bruvor yamapashma bhavastu kala prasidatam nasamaha vibhuti. Yes. Greed is generated from his lower lip. Hare Krishna. Affection from his upper lip. Bodily luster from his nose. Animalistic lusty desires from his sense of touch. Yamraj from his eyebrows. And eternal time from his eyelashes. May that Supreme Personality of Godhead be pleased with us. Hare Krishna. There's no purport, but I'm forced to speculate. We can try some philosophical speculation, but better we go to the purport of Prabhupada. Yes, these all, one may ask why Prabhu, these all things. We can try, actually, we try to see. So, certain things have logic, right? They have logic. Lusty desires, yes, people want to touch. What is Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam 1.6.36? Etaddi atura chittanam matra sparshechaya. Sparshechayam is the desire to touch. Matra sparshechaya muhu. Again and again. Muhu means again and again. There is a desire for every single sense object to touch. Matra sparshas tu kaunteya. So although the senses, even eyes you see with eyes, but still it's touching. If you're seeing a beautiful form from your eyes, you're touching that object. There's a touch. So all the senses are touching. So lust is there in all senses. There's a connection, right? Greed is generated from lower lip. Affection from upper lip. I don't want to speculate on these things, but we can understand there is some connection. Prabhupada is not given, so I don't want to speculate. But we understand there's a connection. All right. So now we come to the most important part, because we are purport of Srila Prabhupada here. And this is something which one has to understand is the essence of the entire prayers. From 32 to 42, the section that glorifies the Virat Purush, this is the essence of all of it. Dravyam vaya karma gunan vishesham yad yoga maya vihitan vadanti yad durvibhavyam prabhu buddha padam prasidatam nassa mahavibhuti. Yes, may that Supreme Personality of Godhead be pleased with us. Now let's see. What is the version of the learned men? So now this is the most important verse, because this is going to teach what is the conception of learned people. All learned men say that 5 elements: eternal time, fruitive activity, the 3 modes of nature, and the varieties produced by the 3 modes of nature are all creations of Yogamaya. Oh, but it is Mahamaya. Yes, Mahamaya is an incarnation of Yogamaya only. So there is nothing wrong. Instead of Virat Purush, if you tell Krishna, it is not wrong. But instead of Krishna, you tell Virat Purush, it is wrong. Correct? If you say Krishna created the universe, it's perfect. Virat Purush created the universe, perfect. Krishna is Akhila Rasamrit Murti, enjoying with all the wonderful residents of Vrindavan, correct? Virat Purush is that Akhila? No, he is not Akhila Rasamrit Murti. No. The godless display of opulences. Vice versa is not true. So since Mahamaya is an incarnation of Yogamaya, there is nothing wrong in saying this. So pure devotees are in the spell of Yogamaya, correct? The materialist, because of Yogamaya, could not see the Lord, correct? The pure devotees are under Mahamaya, wrong. That's not correct. They are beyond Mahamaya. So Yogamaya, creations of Yogamaya, what are these things? The 5 elements: Panch Mahabhut, time, karma, prakriti, and everything connected to prakriti. So these are the 3 subject matters of our big Gita: Kal, karma, prakriti. And modes of nature is also prakriti, and the products of everything is also prakriti. 2 things are not creations of Yogamaya. What are they? Jiva and Ishvara, because they are never created, they are eternal. See, even Kala and Prakriti is also eternal. They are also eternal. That's why it's at eternal time. But still, Kala and Prakriti come under the material realm. They come under material realm. Whereas Jiva and Ishvara actually are beyond material realm. Kala is only in this material world. There's nothing called Kala in the spiritual world. This material world is therefore extremely difficult to understand. But those who are highly learned have rejected it. Very both. The whole purpose of studying the so many slokas is to understand that please don't understand. Just simply reject it. It is not the place to be. You need to understand one thing only about material world. The whole purpose of creation, why we learn chapters and chapters about creation, about material world, so that we get that conviction to reject it. This is not our place. We don't belong here. That's the only reason why we learn all these things. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. I'm just seeing the length of the purport, so I'll do time management accordingly. Okay. The word Durvi Bhavyam is very important in this verse. No one can understand how everything is happening in the material world by the arrangement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead through his material energies. Thank you so much. So what is being told here? Durvi Bhavyam. No one can understand creation or the happenings of this material world. Why? Because that is the quality of Lord. The Lord's quality in Bhagavatam is Abhignya. Abhignya cha artheshu. Comes in the first verse, right? He knows the purpose of the creation and he knows the complete creation in toto. So happenings of this material world, Krishna knows. We are not Abhignya. We can never be one. Once there was one of our Acharya in his childhood. He was faced by a very, very amazing scholar. A scholar was coming. That scholar's name was Sarvagnya. And pride was dripping from his nose. He was such a proud person. So our Acharyas, I know who's the Acharya, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm not telling the name. But the pastime is correct. So this Acharya, he asked him, you think you're all-knowing? Yes, that's why his name was Sarvagnya. Yes. So he took a bit of sand in his hands and tell me how many sand particles are there in my hand. You're Sarvagnya, right? Tell me. And he said, how can anyone possibly know this? It is not possible. Even if you try to do the weight distribution, take weight of one small grain and try to find out mathematically, okay, in this volume or in this volume, how many grains will be there? Mathematically count the kilos and average it out. All these things you keep doing, but still we cannot arrive at the proper number because each grain is different. It has different texture, different weight. So how is it possible? He said it's possible to know only one person can know everything in the creation. And that is Abhignya. That's the Supreme Lord. So one thing we have to understand very clearly is that the purpose of studying all this creation is not to know the creation in totality. The purpose is to reject this creation. Reject as in reject the stay in the material world. This is not the way of life. We are not supposed to be living here. We're supposed to be serving Krishna eternally in the spiritual world. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita 9.10, Maya Dhyakshena Prakritihi Suyate Sacharacharam. Everything is actually happening under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Again, this is a statement of Virat. Maya Adhyakshena. Akshena means the eyes. So the Virat Purush, he also has two eyes. But what are his two eyes? His two eyes are not like our eyes. One eye is the sun and the other eye is the moon. He has this hot eye and a cold eye. So with these two eyes, he is glancing upon this Prakriti. Sun gives the warm light and moon is in charge for giving the juices in all vegetables. And that's how we are all being maintained. These eyes are maintaining the Prakriti. So everything is happening under direction of Supreme Lord. Adhyaksha also means the director. But how is he directing? Just through his eyes. This much we can learn. But how it is happening is extremely difficult to understand. Which means what is Prabhupada trying to tell? Prabhupada is trying to tell that we have to accept that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is in charge. This is something we have to accept. And we can understand to some degree. And this is the reason why Parikshit Maharaj, when the creation topic comes, he is not much asking about details. He's simply listening. A very complicated topic. Just accept. We cannot even understand how the affairs within our body are systematically taking place. See, the body is also a small universe. And since we cannot understand how things are happening in this small universe, how can we understand the affairs of the big universe? Yes. Sometimes a patient goes to a doctor, a person goes to a doctor, and doctor is asking, how are you feeling? He said, not nice. And he has absolutely no clue what's happening in the body. He's able to tell some symptoms that he's undergoing. I'm undergoing this, I'm undergoing that, but exactly what is happening? No, nobody can know what is exactly happened to him. We can only try to possibly speculate. So we don't even know what is happening in our body. Sometimes you ask, so you would like to take one more chapati, Prabhu? And person is thinking, uh, should I take? We don't even understand that much sometimes. Correct? We don't realize. So happenings in our body, we need a teacher to teach us what's happening in the body. Do we know where exactly is the heart? Show the exact position of heart. Yes, we don't know. Yes, some people don't even know the height and weight. You ask them, what's your height? People don't know. We don't know. We don't even know our weight. We don't know anything about ourselves. Okay, what is the shape and dimension of your heart? Can you exactly draw your heart? How does it look? No, you have to check. Open heart surgery and check how it looks. How many bones are there in the rib? People do not know. Okay, just in the hand portion, how many bones are there? Don't know. How many joints are there like this? Joints. Yes. So we don't know many things about our own body, which we need not know. That's what Prabhupada is trying to say. We need not know all these things. Yes, some idea you can have, but that's not the goal of life to know, understand how many blood vessels are there, how many veins are there, how many arteries are there, how the heart looks. That is not the goal. The goal is this body should be used for, it's a vehicle to go back to Godhead. Nridehamadhyam sulabham sudurlabham plavam sukalpam guru karanadaram mayanukulena labasvateritam puman bhavakti nataret sahatmaha. Understand the purpose of what. Similarly, no need to understand elaborately the universe. Understand the purpose of this universe. This is a facility to practice Krishna Bhakti, go back to Godhead. That's it. Don't stay here. Actually, this universe is very difficult to understand. Yet the sages have advised, as Krishna has also advised in this material world, that's it. Understand these two things. Dukkhalayam, ashashvatam. This is temporary. That is dukkha, ashashvatam and dukkhalayam. It's misery. It's painful. Yes. So what is the conclusion? Conclusion is very simple. Now one may say, okay, a person may ask a question. A person who is not very intelligent, okay, is miserable? No problem. Let's make this world into a paradise. It's temporary. Let's make it permanent. Let's do research. This foolishness. And Krishna is saying it's miserable and temporary. That's it. You have to accept. We cannot go against the plan of Lord. The demons go against the plan of Lord. What did Ravana want to do? He wanted to create a staircase by which all impious souls will go to heaven and all the pious souls will go to hell. He wanted to reverse the arrangement of Lord. That's a demoniac tendency. So when Lord is telling Dukkhale Mashashvatam, accept it. Don't waste your time to do this. Rather than that, what you should do? One must give up this material world and go back to Godhead. Right? So materialist may argue, oh, if this material world and its affairs are impossible to understand, how can we reject it? The answer is there in this verse. Prabuddha pabadam. Rejected. Because it is rejected by those who are learned in Vedic wisdom. That's all. In this world, people have a tendency of hero worship. Yes, idol worship. Idol as in like they have some particular idol who they look up to and they want to follow. And everyone is doing that. Mahajano Yanagatasa Panta. They want to follow in the footsteps of great souls. So look at these great souls. They have given it. So you also give it up. That's what Shastras are telling. People want to do what the great souls are doing. Okay, give it up. Even though we cannot understand this material world, we should be ready to reject in accordance to the advice of learned person, especially the advice of Krishna. He is the most learned person. So he's saying very Mam upetya punarjanma dukkhalaya ashashvatam napnuvanti. Napnuvanti you will not get. What you will not get? Punarjanma. Again, birth, repeated birth. When? Mam upetya. When you get me. Yes, you get me, no birth. What kind of birth? In which place? Dukkhalaya ashashvatam. In a place of misery and in the place of temporariness. Napnuvanti. Na apnuvanti. You will not get punarjanma. And the moment you get, who gets you? Only when you are a Mahatma. You're a great soul. Yes. And what is that place? What do you mean by attaining me? Paramam Gati, my destination, my goal, my planet, my spiritual world. And then Krishna goes on to explain the spiritual world. This is some siddhi. Siddhi means perfection. Some siddhi means the complete perfection. There is no bigger perfection than this. Going back to Godhead. That is why Prabhupada even wrote the magazine Back to Godhead, because there is nothing higher than this. What is the letter that Prabhupada wrote to Indian president? Anyone knows? He's written a letter to Rajendra Prasad. He said, please don't consider me to be a crazy man, but I have found out a way by which not only me, everybody can go back to Godhead. Prabhupada kept writing. You can read those letters. They're very sweet to read. Only if they would have read the letter. One has to return back to Godhead. For this is the highest perfection. To go back to Godhead means to reject this material world. That's why Prabhupada is repeatedly hammering the same thing. Reject this material world. And that's the theme. The purpose of understanding all these prayers of demigods, why we are learning all this? The purpose is to reject this material world. Although this is the conclusion again, same thing, Prabhupada. Although we cannot understand functions in the material world and whether it is good for us or bad for us in accordance with the advice of the Supreme Authority, we must reject. So we don't know. We should be like a child. Yes. Now, for example, there was the Chaturmas going on, one of the many years back. In Chaturmas, that was this particular month, the second month where we don't have curd. We don't consume curd. Right? That particular month. So, the curd month, we call it the curd month. That month, second month. Yeah. So there was a person who was not taking curd. So there were two people sitting. So I asked one person, why you're not taking curd? He said there is Chaturmas Vrat. So scientifically, there is Chaturmas mentioned in the Shastra, and there's a forbidden item in this particular period. That's why I'm not taking curd. Good answer. You're shastrically sound. Second person asked, why are you not taking curd? He says, because my mother told me. That's it. For him, his mother is the authority. My mother has told me not to take curd in this month. And she told something more. She said, yes, previous month, do not take uh, leafy vegetables. Next month, don't take milk. And the month after that, do not have urad dal. That particular lentils, don't have it. I said, but you know why? I don't know. And I don't care why. My mother has told, I'll follow. So if you're intelligent, learn the Shastra and give up this material world. If you're not intelligent, please accept the authority and give up this material world. Got the analogy? Yeah? Okay. So pretty much the sum and substance, Prabhupada has been repeatedly telling the same thing in this purport, that either you be intelligent, learn the Shastras and reject this material world, or number two, if you are not intelligent, please accept that Krishna is the supreme most intelligent person, accept his authority and the authority of the other great souls, and then reject the material world. So far, whatever discussion was given about, in fact, what is Virat Purusha? Virat Purusha is the personification of material world. The purpose of discussing all this is to develop detachment and reject the material world. Yes. All right. So at this particular point of time, we would like to pause here. I have a program starting in 8 minutes. So I can afford to take Q&A for the next 7 minutes. 1 minute is for transition.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Maybe I will request devotees if you have any questions, please ask Prabhuji.
Wow, this is so nice. So devotees are very clear about rejecting material world. Reject the material world. That's it. Yenakina prakare, some or the other. Whether you know from Shastra or you know from authority. Shastra is also authority. Krishna and Shastra are the two authorities. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So we say that, right? And along with that, the topmost authority is Krishna. All
I
right.
think you nicely explained about the summary. I think that's why should we leave this material world. I think this is my takeaway. First time I'm hearing this, though we just learned it, but the reasons Prabhupada is trying to quote why we should leave is something new to me, at least for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sudhakar Prabhu. Yes. Balaji
Mr.
Prabhu?
Balaji.
Oh, yes,
Can
Prabhuji.
unmute yourself.
Yeah. So one question I have, how do we bring Krishna into our daily lives? So, not just during the practice of chanting or in the class, Bhagavatam class or Bhagavad Gita class in the evening, throughout the day. That's been a challenge. One of the things being told, just chanting Krishna's names whenever I have time or whenever it's something a break, that's also bringing Krishna throughout the day. Can you enlighten me on that a little bit?
Okay, thank you. The way to bring in Krishna in our life is very clearly mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita himself. In fact, Krishna wants us to bring him to his life. You can read 12.8. Mayeva mana adatsva, mayi buddhim niveshaya, nivashishyasi mayeva, atha urdhvam na samshaya. So this particular shloka very clearly says that make Krishna your life. That's the bottom line. But this is not something which we can do it right now, because this is raga bhakti. It will come when the spontaneous devotion is awakened. Then what do we do at our stage? Achachittam samadhatum nashaknoshi maistiram abhyasa yogena tato mamichhaptam dhananjaya. 12.9. Whenever we do the sadhana, let us have a chanting, our Mangalartik, Srimad Bhagavatam class, deity worship, kirtan, preaching, at least in those times, do that activity with a desire to attain Krishna. So I'm right now trying to reply this and responding to this question with a desire to attain Krishna. May you ask this question with a desire to attain Krishna. That is something we do in a sadhana time. What about working time? Working time. I give this piece of suggestion, I can give advice to all my students. Before we start our work, offer the Mangalacharan prayers. You will see we'll have that consciousness, I'm doing it for Krishna. Before we drive and move, recite Narsimharti, you will be Krishna conscious. And play some kirtan or lecture always when we are driving. So whatever activity we do, we try to keep the Krishna element there. And have this desire, Mamichhaptum Dhananjaya, I have this desire to attain Krishna in whatever we do. So we just need to, before we start an activity, do not just spontaneously or mindlessly enter into an activity. Let's get aware first and then act. So anything I do, first wait. That's why I said I need 1 minute to transition. Right? So let me get aware and then prepare and then go ahead. So there we get awareness. Okay, I need to, get Krishna. I need Krishna through this activity. I'm doing this for why I'm doing and for whom I'm doing. Why am I doing? I'm doing it to get Krishna. For whom I'm doing it for Krishna. Tat karosi yad asnasi yad duhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushnu madarpanam. So 9.27, this shloka has to be the mantra of our life in the other regular times. Does it help, Prabhu? Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you for this wonderful class that Virat Purusha exists in spiritual world. Not really, because that is the material universal form. Yes? No. The forms in the spiritual world. So Prabhupada very clearly gives in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where the universal form is mentioned, this particular form is not there in the spiritual world. Yes. Yes,
Prabhuji,
Sudhakar
just
Prabhu.
I have a question. Maybe it is
This
a
will be the
stupid
last
question,
one.
but I just
Yeah.
Is this Virat Roop is different than the Virat Purush? I'm just got little bit. What
Yes.
we
Yeah.
the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. We have to understand one is the Virat Purusha. Yes. Virat Purusha is the universal form, universe structure. Is a big person. There is something called Kala Rupa also. That Kala Rupa is the one which there is the time frame added. So when you add the time frame here, yes, the Kala, then comes the Vishwarup that Arjun got darshan. He could see the past, present, and future sitting right in one place. Right? So Virat Purush and Vishwarupa, that is the difference. The difference is there is a Kala element added, by which Arjuna could see the past, present, and future. All right, at this particular point of time, thank you so much. I'll have to take my leave because I have to move to another forum. But nevertheless, I thank you all for your wonderful presence and giving me this wonderful opportunity to discuss Bhagavatam with such wonderful Vaishnavas. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Let's offer our humble obeisances to all the Vaishnavas. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyavcha patitaram pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo.
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
namo
Namaha.
Vaishnavan ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam
Prabhupada
ki
ki
jai.
jai.
His Grace
Prabhudas
Sanatana
Prabhu ki
Prabhupada ki
jai.
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 Gauranga,
Gauranga.
Nityananda.
Please, we'll end the call here. Hare Krishna.